The sylvan setting of the inn at Blackberry Farm is a perfect locale for Chef John Fleer, who, if nothing, has developed a well-defined philosophy of cooking. He calls it foothills cuisine and says it must have heart. Beyond that, his dessert also has chocolate in a rich ganache-coated brownie. The brownie batter includes melted chocolate and butter, to which granulated sugar and cocoa powder are sifted in.
I'm going to stir that till it's fully incorporated. And the sugar is dissolved. In the mixture. We'll then fold in our eggs, which have already been beaten. Flour. So that you don't overmix the brownies. Once you get the flour part of the way incorporated, you can go ahead and add the garnish for this rich pistachio brownie, which is pistachios and chocolate chips. Once it's just brought together, stir in last ingredient. This is a homemade vanilla wafer, homemade vanilla extract. We make from just vanilla beans and an inexpensive vodka. Let it steep for 15 to 30 days.
The brownie mixture is spread onto a sheet pan lined with parchment paper.
It's meant to be very thin. It's not a thick cake-like brownie. It's a very dense, rich brownie. So we'll spread it less than half an inch thick in the pan. Once it's even into all the corners, you can see it's really not very thick at all, about a quarter of an inch thick. We'll stick it in the oven. 350 degrees for about half an hour. It's very important with this that you cook it until it's just done, because this brownie, as thin as it is, can get very hard and crisp very quickly. So we'll cook it until it's just done. Okay. For the brownie, we'll be cutting both a top and a bottom layer, and we'll be sandwiching white chocolate ice cream in the middle. So we'll let this be our top layer.
Ganache coats the top.
And it's easiest to do this with a nice heavy pour and let all the excess chocolate drip over the edge and make sure you have a nice even coating.
Refrigerate to set up.
And for the bottom, we'll cut the same size round. But then, seeing as our filling for the moon pie is made from ice cream, we need some place for the melted ice cream to go as it's on its way to the table. So to stabilize the ice cream, we cut a little hole in the middle, create a chocolate donut.
Serve with the brownie is Italian meringue, which is started by beating egg whites to medium peaks and adding sugar.
Sugar to form a common meringue. And once that gets to medium, we'll let it rest there. We have a sugar syrup here that is coming up to 250 degrees. What we have here is the 250 degree syrup. What you want to do is pour the syrup into the meringue in stages, stopping each time so that you don't fling the hot syrup on yourself or on the mixer. It also allows the egg white mixture to temper itself and slowly come up to a hotter temperature rather than being doing so quickly. You'll notice that the heat from the syrup is increasing the volume of our meringue.
After all the syrup is added, the beater is put on low speed until the meringue has cooled.
And instead of the marshmallow filling of the typical moon pie, we've got a rich white chocolate ice cream. We'll take our Ganache coated brownie, some strawberry puree made from fresh strawberries, orange juice, a little dark rum, and triple sec, just as a contrast to cut some of the obvious sugary sweetness to this dessert. And the last step is to take our Italian meringue. Here's where we really pick up the flavor of marshmallow. Take a blowtorch and we'll brown lightly like a toasted marshmallow the outside of the dessert. And there is our Uptown Moon Pie with strawberry puree and rich pistachio brownie.